Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about 10 ridiculously expensive luxury items that you can buy for your dolls, and I got thinking about this for two reasons. Number one, I have an incoming ebony silk breath in original size from Pasha Pasha, and I'm really excited about her, and I'm planning to spoil her and make her like just the doll of my dreams. And the second reason is I have been a little bit obsessed with luxury goods lately. I've been looking at a lot of them and just thinking about them, and I know it's ridiculous that they have such a high price tag and they're not necessarily any better than anything else, but what can I say? I'm a sucker. I've been thinking about it, and so I started thinking what items from some of these luxury houses could work for our dolls. And so let's look at it. Let's look at 10 ridiculously expensive items from some of these places that you could buy for your dolls. I've decided to count these down from least expensive to most expensive. So number 10 in the least expensive is this Versace scrunchie. And I love that it has the Medusa medallion there. You've got that charm on the scrunchie, and it is a Versace scrunchie, and it comes in pink, blue. They even have some that are on sale that were a collaboration with Dua Lipa. They're kind of cool. I actually like these pink and blue ones better, but you can see there's just this beautiful detail in the fabric of the scrunchie, and I just love that charm, and it is just so pretty. But what would you do with a scrunchie with a doll? Well, let's have a look. I want to show you the way I would use the scrunchie. So on a doll's head, you could use it as sort of like a, you see kind of how you can style this to be sort of like a head, I don't know, like some kind of, not a hat exactly, but it could be like some flair for the head. And some of you who are much better at fashion design can probably think of some better ways to do that. But I also think as a shrug, I'm going to pull her wig off. I think it could work well as a shrug. So you just kind of wrap it around like this and then pull the other arm through the back as so, and you've got a shrug. Now I would caution you with a scrunchie and a vinyl doll because you just don't know if it's going to stain or not. But this, even like as a shrug, now this is a inexpensive scrunchie, you can see. So the one we're talking about here is probably going to have a lot more fabric, and it's going to, like, you know, be bigger, and I think would make a really nice shrug, especially for a resin doll in this size. So I think that, and you can see in the back it is going to, you know, there's going to be a hole in the back, but I think it looks really cute as a shrug for a Pasha doll. I'm not going to do the smart doll. I'm sure it'll fit, but I would be worried about color transfer with the scrunchie and the fabric and the dye on the scrunchie. Number 9 is pretty self-explanatory. It's an Airpods case, and it's $315 from Ferragamo. And I say it's self-explanatory because it's the perfect little bag for your dolls. You can see they've made it as a miniature bag, and it's just so cute, so precious. Look at how little and pink and sweet it is, and they have it in other colors. Generally, this is $450, but it's on sale for $315. And I have to say, I do have a Diana clutch from Ferragamo that my husband bought me in Paris, and I love the brand. I really enjoyed my trip to their boutique. I have a video about that here on the channel. But you can see it comes in a lot of colors, and great price, quote unquote, for a Ferragamo bag at $315 that your dolls Coming in at number 8 on my list for $350 is the Chanel Slim Bandeau, or often called twillies. These are called twillies. They're thin, narrow scarves, and because they're so thin, they are really good, in my opinion, as a doll scarf. Now, Chanel has several different designs of these. Each one of them says to contact an advisor. You can't buy these on the website, but if you have a Chanel boutique near you, or you have a store that sells Chanel, you may be able to get one of these. They have a lot of fun, different prints and things like that. My favorite one was the first one that I showed you. You'll often see twillies on the handles of people's handbags. They do that to protect the handles, oftentimes the leather, to keep it protected from your hands and the oils in your hands and things like that. But I just think they are really cute, and I will show you now how it would look on a doll. For the twillie, it is quite long. I cut up an old towel that we have here. So it is 46 inches long, so you can see it is quite long, and it's 2.3 inches across. Now my cutting might be a little rough, but I think it's a good idea to have it. You can see like the towel's kind of coming apart because I just cut it. You can see that it is going to be big, but I think as a scarf, and it's going to be a thin material, like this is obviously thicker because I used an old towel, but you can kind of wrap this around a couple times and just get a good idea of like how that's going to look with your doll's outfit. I think it would look really cool with the outfit wrapped around a few times. And again, I could probably wrap this a little easier if it was a little thinner material, but I used a towel. I didn't have any other fabric, guys, to cut up. I'm sorry. But yeah. But I think that's a good idea, like when you're looking at some of these luxury goods, to try to do a real life replication to even see, if you can't go to the store and do it and look at it and have it in your hands, it's really helpful to look at the measurements and kind of create yourself something in that scale and size to see if it's really going to work. I think that would look super cute, especially with the material being a little bit thinner. You could wrap it a little better. I just think it's going to make a really cute accessory for the dolls.
Coming in at number 7 on my list and at $370 is the Gucci Blondie hair clip. Now, when I was looking at the Gucci site, I really wanted to pick something that had the G's on it, because that is really the iconic Gucci sort of emblem that is theirs. And so I thought, if I'm gonna go ahead and get something Gucci, it needs to have the G's on it. So that kind of narrowed my search down a little bit. And then I saw this hair clip, and the size is just right. I love the beautiful gold finish. It would just add this little touch of luxe to your doll. And so I actually did something to show you how it would look with your doll.
Using a life-size cutout of the Gucci clip, I think this will work really for pretty much any doll. So if you look, here's Lilaroo, and you could use this as a clip. It's going to be biggish, but it looks really cute. Like you could use it as a clip in the side of the hair, like so. I really like that. Same with the Pasha doll. I think it would be a really nice clip on the side, or you could clip in the back if you had the type of wig that's like going to pull back and clip. Same with Smart Doll. I think it's going to look really good with Smart Doll, especially like that scale with the head size. You could do a clip on the side, or you could pull it back into like a half pony here and do a clip in the back, and that size is going to be, so it's very small. Like this is printed according to the measurements on the website. That is how it would look with these different sizes of dolls. So I think it's very well scaled for doll sizes.
Coming in at number 6 on my list for $475 are these mini Seline hair clips. First of all, they have the gold finish that I love, and when we zoom in on the actual hair clip and look at it, you can see that it's got the Seline logo there, and you've even got the word Seline written there, engraved into the hair clip. Now I'm going to show you how this will look with your doll.
This clip here is essentially the same size as the Seline clip. I measured it, and they're very close to the same size. Now I buy these all the time for my dolls. Like probably once every 2 years I buy a big pack of these goodies clips, and you can see I've got actually a clip in her hair. They work very well for doll hair. They can hold it back to the side. I use it to get wigs out of their eyes essentially. So you can see here on Fortitude, I can just kind of pull this back and hold it, and it helps a lot with photos. And I use it for pretty much every scale doll except for the tiny tinies. But like I use it for 1/4, 1/3, 1/6 scale dolls. So I think the Seline clips size wise are going to be perfect.
Coming in at number 5 on my list and $490 is the Tiffany Smile Bracelet. Now the reason I really like this one is because of that Tiffany blue cording. It comes with different colors of cords, but I really like the Tiffany blue one. That's my favorite. And then you've got that tiny little jewel detail. I think this would make a great belt for your dolls. Now, whether your doll's hips will fit this, or whether you will have to put it as a high-waisted belt on your dolls, like kind of cinching a dress in the middle, I just think this makes a great belt for dolls. Looking at the hip and waist measurements of both of these dolls, just want to get a measurement so we can see how it compares. So the Pasha, I'm going to go around, her waist is really small, I'm going to kind of go around the hips here. And so you can see that measure is right about 9 inches or close to a little under 23 centimeters. So maybe even like 22.5 centimeters. Focus for me, camera. So about 9 inches, about 22.5 centimeters. Really, actually, it's under 9 inches. I'm not really, this is kind of hard to do, holding her up to the camera and pulling this at the same time. But it's going to be, well, actually closer to 8 inches. 8.5, let's call it 8.5. 8.5 inches, right around 21.8-ish, 22 centimeters around the hips there. And then for the Smart doll, around the hips, she's got a belt loop here. Maybe I can put that in. Let's not do that. So I'm going to start here. Hers are a little bit easier to find the hips on because we've got these nice belt loops here over to here. And she's right about almost like a perfect 11, 28 centimeters. So there you have the Smart doll. So that gives you a good idea as far as using items as a belt. Coming in at number 4 on my list is the set of Dior bracelets. So we're doing bracelets again as belts again, but I really like this. These are $500 for the set. Now, I will say, if you could split this with a friend and you guys could agree on who got which color bracelet, you could actually do them for $250. I really like the tassels in the back, and why I like that is because you can kind of get 2 looks in one with this. You can have the Christian Dior on the front of your doll, or you can do the tassels on the front. I also love the butterfly details on the sides of the Christian Dior on these bracelets. I think it's really cool, and they have 2 different colors. They've got like the black and gray set, and then they've got the more neutral set. Now, these are adjustable up to 9 inches, so you can see from our dolls before, like your Smart dolls, the hips might be a little big for them, but you could use this definitely around the waist. Like I could see it with a big long t-shirt or a flowing dress, and having this across their waist as like a really nice wide belt. So, oh, here we have one in pink that is gems, and it is, I think it costs a little bit more. Yeah, $690. So they have these in several styles, but I just think they make really cool, or I think they would make a really cool doll belt.
Coming in at number 3 on my list, and this one's a little wild, is a wool and cashmere pet sweater from Prada. Now, this is going to be fitted a little bit odd for dolls, but there's lots of talented people out there that they could just make this work. I mean, we could just slap one of those belts we were just looking at on this. And based on the measurements, like for a small dog, you can kind of look at the sizes there, the neck size and everything. I think you could really make this work for a doll. I have seen people use dog and pet sweaters. You gotta really enunciate those letters at the end when you're talking about dogs and dolls. But when you look at them, I've seen people use these kind of things for their dolls before, and it might be kind of oversized, but that's a fun fashion look even to have an oversized sweater. So if you want your doll to have a cashmere oversized Prada sweater, here you go. They've got just the thing for you. Number 2 on my list, and coming in at $820, is a Louis Vuitton Mini Alma bag charm. Now, this is meant as a charm for your bag, and they're not the only luxury house to do this, but I like theirs the best because it's actually a functional bag. And I'm going to show you something in just a minute, but you see the size of that bag on the bag in the lady's hand. So that is definitely like the size that you want exactly for your dolls, especially if you're talking a 1/3 scale doll. These are amazing. Now I want to show you guys something really cool. So this is so cool to me. My friend Malachi of all my plastic children, Malachi and Madeline. He bought a Louis Vuitton bag charm. It is a different style than the one I just showed you guys, but he actually bought a Louis Vuitton bag charm for his smart doll Verdette, and it is just the most amazing thing. Look at that photo. They bought it in Hawaii, and I thought it was so cool. I think it looks so amazing with their doll, with his doll, excuse me. And I just really love it. Now, I want to show you this. He's done this video where he shows everything that fits inside this thing. And when I was watching this, I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, is this like Hermione's bag? Because there is just so much stuff inside this 1/3 scale. You've got glasses, a pencil, there's a pen, all this stuff fits inside of here, and it's just incredible that he's able to get so much into this purse. And so I think that for the 1/3 doll, these little Louis Vuitton bag charms are amazing. Now, I like the Airpods for the Ferragamo. That was a much better price in my opinion. But this is a legit like Louis bag. So like if you want an actual bag, because it's made just like the bag for your dolls, this is like the ultimate in luxury for the dolls. Number 1 on my list is the Hermes Oran Nano charm. Now this comes in at $640 or $690 depending on which style you choose. You can see the size there up against a purse, what the actual size is going to be. This is another bag charm. It's real leather. Now you may be thinking to yourself, Allison, that is less expensive than the Louis bag you just showed us. Yes, it is, but to get a pair of sandals, you're going to have to buy 2 of these charms at a whopping $1,280. And not only are you going to have to buy 2 of them, but you're going to have to deconstruct one. And I think probably the black pair is going to be the easiest to do this with. You'd have to get 2 of them in the same color, deconstruct one, and then put it back together like upside down so that you actually had a pair of these for your dolls, which I think is absolutely bananas. So of course it's something that I'm like, oh yeah, I'd love to do this. So I want to show you now what dolls this might actually work for.
Using a life-size cutout, as life-size as I could get with a printer, of the Oran sandal, I'm going to show you how it looks with 3 different feet. So on a smart doll's foot, I'm going to actually just remove the foot to give you guys a better look. So here's the size of the foot. And if I put the foot on the sandal, it does look like this would work. It's going to be a little long, but I think you could probably squeeze the foot in there, especially since this is leather and leather has some give. So I think the Oran sandal would work for a smart doll foot. For a Pasha Pasha foot, so here's the Pasha Pasha foot. Once again, I think this would work, and I actually think this is the best foot. I tried a couple of other feet in my room, but these are the 3 that work best in my opinion. I think this looks amazing, and as a matter of fact, with my ebony silk breath that I have incoming, I may, on the secondhand market, because they're a lot less expensive on the secondhand market, may try to get her a pair. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. She might be my splurge girl that I like do some splurges with, but I think that would work really well for the Pasha foot. And then for Mini Dolphy Dream, so here's Lillaroo. Let me remove her foot and show you. Her foot's a little bit wider and a little bit shorter, you can see that, but I think you could fit it in there. Now, it's not going to look as good because it is so much shorter than the actual thing, but I think you could width-wise get it fit in there. So there's a 3D, I don't know, there's a representation using a 2D model that is life-size with doll feet, but once again, I do think the Pasha foot is going to be the most elegant there in the sandal. There are lots of other interesting luxe items you could get for your dolls. Hermes has a tiny bag charm. Rings make great bracelets for dolls. I think they make a really nice bracelet if you can remove your doll's hand and put it on. Very classy, very cool thing to do. As I was looking around, I even found out that Versace has a pet bed. You could somehow do something with your dolls for that, make some kind of really luxurious bed. Seline has a scrunchie. Most of these brands have twillies, scrunchies, rings, bracelets, things like that you can use to give your doll a touch of luxe. And even Tiffany's has their Tiffany blue napkins. If you have somebody, or you can yourself make something with that, you can make like a handkerchief dress. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments below if you'd ever consider splurging on a super luxe item like one of the ones I've talked about today for your dolls. And if you ever have, let me know what that is. I might be doing a little bit of that in 2024. We'll wait and see. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. I want to say a huge thank you to my patrons from Patreon: Lindsay S., Leah W., Doreen Z., Janice H., Mercedes W., Cindy K., Bear Sunflower, Diane B., Kelly L., Shorna R., Stephanie W., Shalane C., Penny P., Louisa's Knickknacks, Marty G., Lynn P., and Cindy L. Your support means so much to me and helps me continue bringing you great dolly content. For more information on how you can become a supporter of this channel, check the link in the video description. Thank you.